Bluetooth is connectivity.
Seamless, connectivity, simple.
Simple. If it has to be one word, then I'll pick simple.
Glue. It's the glue that ties everything together.
It's invisible. You don't notice it, it's there, it just works.
Why do I love Bluetooth? I love Bluetooth because it works.
I was working for a mobile phone company, and we quickly realized that the phone itself was not sufficient. You need peripherals like headsets, laptops, anything else that you could communicate with.
It was a Friday afternoon. I was sitting in my office and I got a call from Johann Weber, who was one of the Intel people that had started working on the mobile data initiative in Europe. And he wanted to know if I could come over and listen to a couple of guys that had come in with some technology. And I listened to him for about 20 minutes and I said, say no more.
My boss came back and says, well, we need to figure out how we're going to integrate wireless into notebooks. And so that was kind of the origins of it. It turned out that there were a lot of people trying to do that.
One of the challenges in getting Bluetooth started was that every company was working on something that was kind of close to Bluetooth.
Well, instead of there being 9 different short-range wireless things, let's make a single wireless thing. And that's when we started talking to folks.
We had to reach out to other companies. That was the whole reason why we created this Bluetooth SIG.
One of the advantages of starting a SIG for Bluetooth was that we could pretty much put aside a number of the arguments that would have happened.
Everyone understood the goal. So when you had an argument, you weren't arguing that I want to use my technology versus your technology. You're arguing about how that technology is meeting the goals. And those are good arguments to have.
You had IBM and Toshiba and Nokia and Ericsson, and they were competing entities. If you could bring some people together and find the common interest, which we were able to do, that sort of started the snowball. We went to our general manager, Steve Nugsheim, and said, well, we think we can get 20 or 30 companies to join within a year.
And I told him, no, we need at least 100 to make this successful.
In the end, we actually had 400 companies, and I didn't know that 400 companies existed at that point.
The technology, once we got it out there, was pretty compelling. And so people started coming up with all sorts of ideas that, quite frankly, none of us had envisioned.
You can start out by looking at Bluetooth as the default way people transmit wireless audio.
I listen to a lot of music. When I can get rid of that wire between my phone and the earpiece, that's kind of a big deal.
People started out using it to transmit single ear audio from their phone to their Bluetooth headset. We got A2DP and we could start talking about Bluetooth music. It entered cars for both single ear conversation and for A2DP. It entered the living room.
Bluetooth has expanded the audio market and has done so by delivering a compelling audio experience to our customers. It's made a big difference in people's lives.
The ability to easily link devices and then to transfer data between them using this well-established set of protocols that a lot of applications understand, that a lot of devices understand, make it a very easy-to-use system.
Bluetooth came into the wearables conversation from the start. The connection between something you're wearing on your wrist, something you're wearing on your face, something you're wearing in your ear to connect to your phone. The first step of that connection is a Bluetooth connection.
And now we see a giant diversity of products, both for digital health and even hardcore athletes. And all that's been enabled by technology like Bluetooth that lets us put sensors in these fitness products and have a low power, very secure link out to the smartphone and then to the cloud.
There are some technologies that are just transformational technologies in ways you might not expect. High-def television changed sports, and in the same way, Bluetooth changed mobile computing.
I see Bluetooth being the solution to really enable the location of everything.
Our dream, our mission is to be able to locate every human being, every object inside buildings. And Bluetooth makes this possible.
Beacons is a category of electronic device that didn't exist 10 years ago. Very few people even imagined an application like beacons.
In order for those buildings and those locations to be intelligent, we need this sort of invisible technology, the language, the protocol, and Bluetooth could be that standard.
We see as Bluetooth staying around for the long run. It all comes down to accuracy, and we can only get that leveraging the Bluetooth technology.
Bluetooth is striving to connect absolutely everything, to make everything findable. And you think about the impact of that, that's massive, right? That changes the way the world works.
Mesh not only continues the Bluetooth promise of simple, secure connectivity, but expands it.
We feel very strongly that we've delivered a third Bluetooth revolution.
Be able to contact all the devices in a home or all the devices in a commercial building, regardless of how many walls you have to pass through, because it's able to relay the messages from one device to another. This means that Bluetooth is going to become even more ubiquitous than it is.
The biggest challenge that the lighting industry have is so many communication protocols that there's a fear to decide. Bluetooth Mesh opens that whole platform up so everything is interoperable with each other.
Lighting is everywhere where people are. So by integrating Bluetooth into lighting, you create really a Bluetooth network. And then you can think about beyond lighting. You can think about indoor positioning. You can think about asset tracking. You can think about wayfinding.
Suddenly you can see like who is in the office today, who is in which room. Rooms can figure out how many people are there, so they can adjust air conditioning levels. All those smart intelligence use cases that we used to like only read in sci-fi books, they suddenly become reality.
In this era of home and building and industrial automation, Bluetooth is definitely playing very hard to become one of the leaders as we transition into this fully connected, fully smart world.
We feel like we are changing the world.
The Bluetooth SIG is a community. It's a community of developers. It's a community of innovators. You get the community aspect of people working together to solve hard problems. And then once those problems are solved, there's all sorts of opportunities for innovation.
Bluetooth as an organization is incredibly open. As a company, it's very easy for you to join the Bluetooth SIG and develop. So every generation of engineers is adding new things to Bluetooth. That's why it stays and it changes and it evolves.
To me, the most attractive is this evolution rate. It's simply the fastest growing radio standard in the world. That's what makes it really successful.
Every year, every decade, there's a completely new wave of applications.
Bluetooth it's the fabric of connectivity.
There's no way that the wearables market, that the IoT market, that the smart home market, even the personal computing market, there's no possible way that any of this could exist without the sort of connectivity, the sort of service that Bluetooth provides.
Bluetooth just becomes essential. There's not going to be a major alternative. Bluetooth is what you're going to use.
It's really beginning to become hard to imagine connectivity in the world or IoT without mobile technologies, and particularly Bluetooth.
What Bluetooth has accomplished over the past 20 years is incredible. A lot of great decisions and a lot of great minds coming together, building a phenomenal technology. I think the opportunity is even bigger in the next 20 years.
Did I ever think Bluetooth was going to still be around 20 years? I don't think we really stopped to ask that question, and I'm amazed.
We all thought it was going to be super successful. We just never thought it was going to be the kind of like runaway type success.
It's been an exciting 20 years to watch all that happen. Nobody thought we'd be measuring Bluetooth devices in the multi-billions, and nobody even dreamed of some of the applications we've seen since then, and hopefully some of the applications we're going to see going into the future.